Hi, welcome to the Commercial Gas Engineer channel. Just want to talk about several mistakes that most gas engineers make. Starting off, not calling gas safe. This is a common problem, a common fear among gas engineers to not call gas safe. I don't know why. Don't know if it's just fear or having people look over your shoulder or putting yourself on the radar. But for some reason, gas engineers do not call gas safe enough. Get into the habit of calling them. They're giving money to advise. They're also a get out of jail card. So when you're in a situation where you have an unsafe situation and it's not black or white and you're in a grey area and you're not sure, or even when you are sure and you just want to get some clarification and more information, you may believe something's ID, somebody else may say something's at risk, or your manager may believe that you should leave something on and you think that it should be turned off. Call gas safe. When you do call gas safe, do not take what they say as gospel. Ask them where they're getting information from. They may say to you to just use common sense, but write down where they are getting this information from. Is it in the unsafe situations book? Is it in my gas reference book? Is it in my iGEM manual? Where is this information from? Don't just take their word for it. Also, if somebody does want you to leave something on, like your manager, ask them to send it to you in writing. Can you tell me that you want me to leave this at-risk boiler on? You're so convinced that you want me to leave it on. Can you send me something in writing that you want me to leave it on? I know it might be a bit annoying for them, but you may be in a situation where your manager gets frustrated with you for leaving something on that you think is dangerous. And if they want you to do that, they can deny all knowledge of what's being said over the phone. They can say, I never told you to leave that on. So keep yourself out of trouble. Don't just walk around leaving things on that you think that you shouldn't. When you're in doubt, call gas safe. Also contact the manufacturer as well, if need be. But don't use your colleague's opinion, because there are many people that are wrong and strong. They will say to you, yeah, that's fine, leave it on. But when you're in the dock, no, they won't be there and your manager won't be there. Okay, the only thing that might get you out of jail is that you called gas safe on the day and you looked at some reference material, and that's how you went about making your decision. Second, when you go to a call out, there are many different directions you can head in, many different approaches you can tackle a call out in. I've seen people approach call out so many different ways. I've gone to call outs where there's 3 or 4 different engineers on a job. One person walks in and their first thing is they start touching everything. They start getting their screwdriver, putting it in the control panel. They start pushing in contactors. They start walking up and down like a lion, up and down the plant room. There are other people that are in the plant room and will look for the most complicated thing first. They won't look for the most simplest thing in the breakdown. It has to be the most complicated, unlikely thing. That's what they'll go to. Happens to all of us. We've done these things before. There are people that also will write off checking everything. They won't walk around and check every pump in the plant room. They'll just hone in and zoom in on one problem for an hour or two. They won't do a quick overview of what they have and just almost like sit on their hands and just look at everything first and document what they see before they touch anything. They'll just start running in and touching first. Whichever approach you want to do it. But I'm just saying to you, first and foremost, think about your approach when you tackle a call out, because it can change everything. You can miss the most obvious thing. Sometimes it can just be a switch. Just one switch or one press of a button and you could have everything restored. But you have to look first. And there are times when it starts going bad, and before you throw the towel in, you should start again. If you have to, walk out the plant room, walk back in the plant room as though you were never in there, and start again from the beginning and look at things, or ask somebody else to do it. When someone walks in a plant room sometimes, another engineer, don't necessarily bring them down the path that you're going down to find the problem. Let them do their own checking first whilst you sit back, and then update them on what you found. Give them 5-10 minutes first breathing space to see what they find before you influence them to look in a certain direction. So those are a few things about how you approach a breakdown, because 90 to about 95 out of 100 of breakdowns you go to, if you have a decent amount of experience, it should be nothing that gets the better of you, but it's about your approach that can help you fix a problem. Another thing, after you've had a breakdown, analyze how you did the breakdown. In the wins and in the defeats, there's always something to learn. Even more in the defeats. When you come across a boiler that beats you, there's even more to learn from that. So analyze. When you do something wrong in a situation, just as though when you're playing a game of chess, when there is a boiler room that you couldn't get back up and going, think to yourself, what could I have done better? How could I have, instead of taking 4 hours to fix that, how could I fix that in 1 hour? What could I have done differently? How could I have approached this call out in a different manner? The reason why I'm telling you this is that very few people can diagnose problems in plant rooms quickly and successfully. Some people never get to the bottom of problems on their own. Some people don't learn much from a situation. There's a lot to learn. You can learn in 1 year of experience as an engineer more than someone learns in 10 years of experience as an engineer. But if you're switched on, and if you're taking notes, and if you're learning from your errors and your successes, because diagnosis is key. It's very important. Many people can just go in a plant room or in a place and just install pipework, follow drawings, install wiring. But very few people can walk into a boiler room and diagnose what the problem is quickly on their own. So I challenge you to that. Learn as quick as you can. And it's about your approach. It's not all about what you have in your head. It's about how you use what's in your head. Another thing, and this isn't just for you, all these points are for me also. These are to help myself. Stop acting. Try to stop acting. I know when you come across other engineers or when you go to another company or things of that nature, you want to prove yourself that you're good at what you do. You don't have to act. Stop the acting. Stop putting the front on that you know things. Oh, yes, I know this and I know that and I know this. Just get on with the job. Forget the acting, get the job done. But too many times where I go into situations where myself or other engineers are puffing their chest up for what they know. Everyone's trying to prove to one another that they're the big cheese. Just get on with the job. Get on with the job at hand. You don't need to prove to people that you know how to wire this up, or you know how to do this or that. People will believe what they want to believe. Much as you want to go out of your way to prove to engineers that you're good at what you do, just get on with the job. Forget the acting. Stop puffing your chest out. I find it's so annoying when I see engineers just spending most of their time talking up themselves or just going on and on like they know everything. I have to remind myself often when I'm working to not, when the other engineers are like, yeah, I'm good at this and yeah, I can do that. And back in 1985, I was doing that. And just get on with it. You don't need to waste your time proving how good you are. Just focus on getting the job done at hand. Job reports are important. Do more job reports and do less talking. When you give feedback to a manager or to your office, best to keep it short and sweet and tell them, read the job report. Yeah, be more formal. Send a job report in, a detailed report of what they need to know. Okay, over the phone, managers, sites, all they want a lot of the time is if you've done a job, a call out, they want to know it's fixed. Or if it isn't fixed, they want to know what it requires to be fixed and that the situation is safe, leaks contained, etc. That's all they want to know. They don't want to know anything really in between. They mainly just want to know it's fixed or what it needs to be fixed. That's it. Don't need to, over the phone, go into long details about the job. Just, yep, it's fixed. Or it needs this to be fixed. I'll send the part details over. It's in the job report. I'll send it in the job report. That's it. They've got too much information going through their head at the office, too many details. They're not there on site. It will get lost in translation, in Chinese whispers. Send them the report. You've got proof that you've done it. Send details, pictures, send it in the report. Say as little as you can over the phone as possible. Also, read reports. When there's a report or if there's any opportunity to read up or gather information on a job, sometimes read a report because that can stop you from getting set up. Ask other engineers what happened on this job because you'll walk into a situation. Sometimes you may have a customer there and they won't tell you anything. They'll just be quiet. They won't tell you that the last person almost killed themselves or the last person couldn't fix it or this or that. They just won't say anything unless you ask. Also, your office may not even tell you, by the way, there's some crazy people on site, or you're going to have problems with the manager, or there was a big complaint beforehand, or watch out for this, or 10 other people couldn't fix it before you. No one's going to tell you most of the time. So unless you ask, especially if you walk into a situation and it looks like a setup, or it looks like everyone's been passing this job over, start asking questions. Just stick with reports. Well-written report, like you're writing a letter to the Prime Minister. Detailed report with paragraphs, good English. Read reports and get information on a job. Do your homework around jobs, especially when it looks like you're in a setup. Some jobs you need to try and get away from, or you need backup on. You need a few more people on because you will get into jobs where you end up in a pickle. So watch out. Don't make judgment calls that you don't need to make. Get managers to make the decision more often than you making the decision. There are times when you can just crack on with the job when you know what you're doing, but make them make the judgment call, especially when you've got a lot of eyes on a job. But for a manager to come to site, ask the management to make a judgment call. So I'm in this situation. Do you want me to turn this system back on, or do you want me to leave it off? I'm waiting for a judgment call here. Sometimes engineers make too many decisions and people say, who told you to do that? Who told you to make that decision? Pull it back to management and let them make the decision. Let them take the flak. Let them take the responsibility. You are meant to just go and get on with the job. You shouldn't be making too many decisions unless you are the lead engineer or the supervisor or the manager. As an operative, you go in and do the job. Give them the information back. You relay information back to them and you make them make the judgment calls. You don't need to go ahead and make the calls. So sometimes engineers start going above their pay grade and start trying to make all the decisions. And then when it comes back to them now and they get thrown under the bus, have no get out of jail card. When it comes to gas safety, regardless of what management or anybody says, you're the person on site. It's your license that's at hand. So your manager can say, turn something on, and you can be like, no, I'm leaving it off. They can say, leave it off, and you could say, no, I'm turning it on, because you're the gas operative on site with the gas card. Other than that, most of the other times when decisions are being made, it's down for your office or your management to make that decision. So do not take decisions on that you do not need to take. Pass it up the food chain and cover your back. Okay, try not to get too emotional at work. Sometimes engineers can get too carried away, too pent up, too frustrated and leave their job in a hurry. Don't let colleagues, management, anybody let you run away from your job in a hurry. Okay? Remember that you're exchanging your time for money. That's what it is. Try and see it more as a business transaction. Okay? You're going to work for them. They're giving you money, whether you're self-employed or employed. You're going to do something there. They're giving you money for your time. Try and remember that's what it's about. It's a business transaction. It isn't all about getting upset and frustrated or about blame or about who said what and this and that. You're there to do a job. You're there to be as quiet as possible and get on with your work, not grumble and moan about everything. You're there to fix the situation without too much drama. That's it, basically. You're going to do your job, your servicing, your breakdown, whatever it is you're going to do, your install. Go in there, not because you want to create a drama out of your job. You're there to just get on with it. So do not take things too personal at work if possible. Don't let everything get to you. Do not take your work home. Do not let your work keep you up at night time. There is more to life than being a gas engineer. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Distract yourself with other things than worrying about your work all the time. Okay, that's all from me. So I hope that you enjoy your job more and you do it a bit better from some of this information I've given you. These are several things that I believe that gas engineers make mistakes that they make in their job, making their job worse, their job harder, and so on than it needs to be. Okay, thank you for joining me. Until next time, please leave comments in the section below. Bye.